The breaking news coming out of the DCU and Warner Brothers studios yesterday was Ezra Miller will have a future in the DCEU, that the Warner Brothers executives are willing to work with him. In other words, of course we're going to work with him because the majority of us are freaks just like him and the newly instated James Gunn, another despotic freak. I'm not going to wane on my energy for James Gunn, and I'm not going to wane on my energy for Ezra Miller. The guy's sick. And you know what? When James Gunn was installed as the guy to bring forward the DCU, and then we saw that Henry Cavill was getting the boot and Gal Gadot was getting the boot and even The Rock was getting axed, I was thinking there's no way he's cutting Ezra Miller. And I was waiting for some sort of news story, and a couple of media outlets kind of teetered on the outside of it with the possibility that he might be getting cut. Will there be a new Flash? Of course there's not going to be a new Flash. Of course there's not going to be a new Flash. James Gunn is an absolute psycho, and he only loves the idea of having a non-binary person or whatever this dude is in the position of the Flash moving forward. And what's very frustrating, and this is a point that Yellow Flash made, was that normies don't actually know what's going on with Ezra Miller. They don't know that he's like choke slamming chicks onto the ground and busting them. They don't know that he's showing up in people's bedrooms in the middle of the night, standing over their bed like something out of a Michael Myers movie. They don't know that. They don't know that he's running a cult where he has kids hanging out sucking on bullets and all this type of garbage. It's like, what's going on? If we went through his actual rap sheet, the dude has been arrested about 47 times in the last few months, and you would think that one of them would lead to him getting the axe. It didn't. Of course not. We're talking about Hollywood. They love the fact that he's this non-binary, and they actually refer to him then as the they, them, and their and all this type of stuff, and you're like, stop using this language because you're just prolonging it. This is all going to come crumbling down, and we're going to move on to a new phase in the next 2 years. All these are tools and propaganda, and they're used to play oppression Olympics. That's all they're about. And it keeps normal people with legitimate reasons who have a problem with the properties and the IPs moving forward. It keeps them quiet because we can use arbitrary lines like it's hate speech. That's all this they them garbage is about. That's all it is to keep people at bay, keep people threatened. It's like, whoa, you say something against that and it's hate speech, you could be getting 10 years in prison. Because this story popped up yesterday, and I'm not even going to read this story. It popped up yesterday. It's all there in the title. The Warner Brothers reportedly willing to move forward with Ezra Miller. Of course they are. Of course they are. He fits the bill beautifully for what they want to do. This is the guy. This is their guy. He's a young freak who's running around like luring people into his cult. It is exactly what Hollywood is about. Why wouldn't they move forward is the question. You know, so you look across the board on the internet and on YouTube, and you see all the content creators, all the great ones, Ryan Kennel, Nerdrotic, Eric July, they'll all cover this stuff, and they'll talk about how is this guy a role model for children. With the amount of absolute insane incidents over the last 2 years, and all these big content creators will get massive amount of numbers, people agreeing with them, but it dissipates like tears in the rain because it's overshadowed by Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon and the mainstream machine. That'll take over. That's why the normie doesn't know Ezra Miller is a freak. That's why they don't know the shit that he's up to, because it's a tactic that these extreme left-wing nutjobs use, and they are absolutely brilliant at it by now. And the only fight back is these content creators and is the people that call out this garbage for what it is. And then we had this story with The Rock. Secret meetings, tequila, Black Adam versus Superman, how Dwayne Johnson's bid for DC power flamed out. And okay, you can look at it from a kind of disparaging side where The Rock has been talked about. He wanted to take over the DCEU. He wanted tequila at the premiere. He wanted himself and Henry Cavill to move forward with like crossover movies. And you know what? To me, that doesn't sound too bad. I didn't see Black Adam. I don't know. I've heard that it's okay. And nowadays, an okay movie isn't enough, I guess, for the likes of James Gunn. An okay movie won't do it, Rock, I'm afraid. You're gonna have to be kidnapping people, bro. You're going to have to be breaking into their houses, and you're going to have to insist on calling yourself they, them. Because if you don't have that, you ain't getting shit. Just like Henry Cavill, nice guy, brilliant in the role of Superman, plays Warhammer, nope, out the door. We don't need freaks who play video games. We need people that break into houses, kidnap kids, and stuff bullets into their mouth. That's what we need, right? Of course we need that going forward. 2023, here we come. Ezra Miller should be fired on the spot, and so should James Gunn. And this isn't an outrageous statement. Ezra Miller should be in prison, and so should James Gunn. Let me know if you agree. Cheers.